सरस्वत्यै नमः। वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वन्दे गुरुपदद्वन्द्वम् अवाङ्मानसगोचरं रक्तशुक्लप्रभामिश्रम् अतर्क्यं त्रैपुरं महः। आपदामपहर्तारं दातारं सर्वसम्पदां लोकाभिरामं श्रीरामं भूयो भूयो नमाम्यहम्। रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेधसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीतायाः पतये नमः। श्रीराम राम रामेति रमे रामे मनोरमे सहस्रनाम तत्तुल्यं रामनामवरानने। यत्र यत्र रघुनाथकीर्तनं तत्र तत्र कृतमस्तकाञ्जलिं बाष्पवारि परिपूर्णलोचनं मारुतिं नमत राक्षसान्तकं। कूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कविताशाखां वन्दे वाल्मीकिकोकिलम्। सीतादेवीयुतं वीरं सर्वभूषणभूषितं पितृभक्तं हरिं ध्यायेत् अयोध्याकाण्ड उत्तमे। श्रीराम जय राम जय जय राम श्रीराम जय राम जय जय राम श्रीराम जय राम जय जय राम। श्री हनुमान जय जय हनुमान श्री हनुमान जय जय हनुमान श्री हनुमान जय जय हनुमान श्री हनुमान जय जय हनुमान। जय श्री राम everyone. Okay, yesterday we covered how Rama, Lakshmana and Sītā, they crossed the Ganga and then they walked. They sat there for a while because it became evening after some time, and then Rama and Lakshmana talked to each other, and Rama, he, according to Laukika Acharya, like that he spoke. Okay, and then how Lakshmana surrendered himself completely to Rama. Okay, this shows one way of looking at is like devotion, and the other way is like, okay, he is behaving like a human. Okay, that is how we because he came as a human, and if he does not do that, he cannot kill Ravana. That is the reason why he behaved in that way. And another one is like obviously he is Paramatma, he is just testing Lakshmana, and of course Lakshmana is also, he is surrendering, he is showing his devotion, so all of us can learn how devotion should be. And after that they reached a place where near Prayaga, right? That's what we talked about. And Prayaga got its name because of Brahma. He did so many 1000 yagas there, hence the name Prayaga. Okay, and sage Bharadwāja, and they were talking. We also talked about so many customs that we need to follow now. Now let us see what Bharadwāja, how now Śrī Rāma, Sītā and Lakshmana, they stayed there only for the night, right? Now the celebrated sage Bharadwāja, he entertained his beloved guest. This is the best guest one could have. If you remember Guha also said the same thing. Who can get any excellent guest than this, right? Like that. So Śrī Rāma is also there along with his consort and his brother, delighting them with all his desired objects like that. And he actually Bharadwāja got them all the things that they like. What does Śrī Rāma like? Okay, like right now he is only eating things with roots and fruits, so he offered them all those things. And Śrī Rāma also likes to listen to Purana stories, so he even told those stories by the way. So many topics they talked about so many topics. And the delightful night arrived. Śrī Rāma along with Sītā and Lakshmana, they were very exhausted now. They spent the night in the lovely hermitage of sage Bharadwāja. Okay, they spent there. They slept there. Now the night ended, and the dawn came. If you remember yesterday, like we talked about how Bharadwāja suggested a place called Chitrakoota, right? So now they are going to go there. So we'll see how they go there. They perform the essential tasks that they need to perform. The dawn happened, they take bath, they do other things, and then they do the worship of devatas during that morning, twilight time, sandhya time and all. They did all of that. And Śrī Rāma, the tiger among men, he approached the glorious sage Bharadwāja and he did namaskara to him with joined palms and he said, Bhagavan, we spent the night in your hermitage. Please permit us, you give us permission to go to the place that you said to make our abode there. You said we have to make our kutira, we have to make our ashrama, wherever, in a place called Chitrakoota. So we want to go there, so please give us your permission. So as that night came to an end, sage Bharadwāja replied to Śrī Rāma, O mighty Śrī Rāma, proceed gladly to Chitrakoota, okay, which is rich in honey, fruits and roots. Everything is so rich there, all the food is there. And I think it is a good place for your abode. Please go to the sacred and beautiful mountain Chitrakoota, which is adorned with clusters of trees. Okay, I want you to imagine this. Okay, and there are trees of every description there. It is frequented by kinnaras and nagas, and it is charming with the cries of peacocks, and it has a lot of great elephants, and with plenty of roots and fruits, and you will see herds of elephants as well as troops of deer also. They will keep roaming about there very, very frequent, like you will see them just like that in those forests. O Raghava, you will also see rivers, waterfalls, peaks of mountains, and even fissures in rocks. All these kind of things will be there, right? And caves and rivulets, all these things you will see. They will all give you a lot of delight to your mind. You'll feel very, very happy looking at them. As you roam about with Sītā, as you are going along with Sītā, you will feel all these things. So you go there, okay, and take up your abode on that highly blessed mountain which entertains the visitors with the notes of Titibha birds. There are birds called Titibha and Kokila birds. Okay, these birds, they will keep singing beautifully, those kind of birds. So with those birds noises and all, the mountain would be it's very blessed. And remember how they talked about Chitrakoota last time. In last class we talked about whoever stays on Chitrakoota, they will always have good thoughts. They will want to perform good. They will never have a negative thought or a bad thought towards anybody or towards anything. Okay, they will always be intending to do dharma only. So it is most delightful because of its many deer and elephants in rut. Okay, and is fit for habitation. You can go there like that. So that completes that sarga. That is where we left yesterday. And now he is the two sons of the king, meaning Śrī Rāma and Lakshmana, who were subduers of their foes, who can subdue their enemies. They greeted the sage Bharadwāja after spending the night there. And they got ready to proceed in the direction of Chitrakoota. Now when he said that, right? Now the great Rishi, he saw that they were about to start. So then what did he do? He performed really whatever the religious rites that are required to do. Okay, ensuring their safe journey. If somebody is going someplace, you have to perform these things, like scattering boiled rice on the ground and keeping the balis and invoking the blessings by reciting the sacred texts and all. And sorry about that. Yeah. He followed them in the same way as a father would bless, like how a father, when his sons are going, how a father would follow, like that, he also followed them, like his own sons and his daughter-in-law is going, like that. Sage Bharadwāja followed them to some way. It is nice to follow to certain extent, but not too far, right? Remember that dharma. And then that eminent sage, glorious Bharadwāja, he instructed Śrī Rāma, who is Satya Parakrama. Satya Parakrama meaning Satya Kama, Satya Sankalpa. Whatever he wants will happen. Okay, like that. Whatever whatever he wants to happen, that will happen. So that Satya Parakrama, Bharadwāja told as they were walking. I want you to imagine Rama, Sītā, okay, Lakshmana walking, and Bharadwāja is also going with them, along with them. And then he said, "O Raghavas, reach the confluence of Ganga and Yamuna rivers." Okay, there is the confluence where they are joining. Go there, and then follow the river Kalindi. Say that? Kalindi. Kalindi is another name for Yamuna. Okay, Kalindi is another name for Yamuna. And as follow the river, then follow the river Kalindi. Follow the river Yamuna. And as you go in the western direction along the Yamuna river, you will see a way. There will be a way which is frequented by many people. You will see some people crossing also sometimes maybe. And that place is not too deep. So, and Yamuna also flows slowly there. At that place it flows slowly. So, O Raghava, There you prepare a raft. Okay, you make a raft and then you cross the river. There you will reach an extensive banyan tree. There will be a big banyan tree there. It is full of dark leaves, because dark green leaves. You know, the dark green color is known as Śyāma in Sanskrit. Okay, and hence the tree is also called Śyāma because of that reason. Śyāma has different meanings. One is young. Okay, one who is 16 years old, that is Śyāma. And then Śyāma also means dark green in color. Okay, it is surrounded by many trees. That banyan tree is surrounded by many other trees also, and it is frequented by siddhas. Siddhas keep coming to the tree. There is there are a lot of devatas are also in the tree. Even now also that tree is there. Okay, even now also it is said that the tree is there. It is known as the Śyāma Vata vruksha. Okay, it is still there. Sītā should worship the tree. That is what Bharadwāja is telling. You should also worship the tree. It is a devata vruksha. There are many devatas on the tree, and it is said that on the murrey leaf there will be Lord Krishna, right? Obviously, Vishnu will be there. So, if one does pradakshina to that vata vruksha and ask for something, okay, that will come to us. Why? Here we are coming to a little bit away and trying to understand why this banyan tree is very, very sacred. Because it is one thing is it has all the devatas in it, and another thing is it is form of Vishnu, Nyagrodha. Okay, and if you will come across this name in Nyagrodha, Shwatha, in Vishnu Sahasranama also. Okay, and then many people, generally what happens, people when they don't have children, okay, they tie small pieces of cloth or mudupulu and swings, small swings like that to that banyan tree, and then they go around it in a pradakshina, clockwise direction, asking for children. There are like certain pradakshinas that they need to do, and within 1 year what happens if they do it, they will have children. That is the greatness of that banyan tree. Banyan tree is very, very sacred. And obviously this Śyāma, this particular Vata vruksha is more sacred. Now let us come back. After worshipping, now Bharadwāja is saying, after worshipping, Sītā, like she can halt there for some time, take rest, because maybe she might have been tired and all because of the walking and all to do there. Or if you are not tired, you can go beyond it. And after walking for 1 krosha meaning 2 miles. Okay, after walking for 1 krosha from the tree, you will see Neelavana. Neelavana meaning it's like black in color. Black means dark in color, like that, dark grey. It's like that, which consists of Salaki, Jujubi, and Jujubi meaning Regupandlu. You know, Regupandlu. That's a badari. And charming bamboos. You will find the bamboos also standing on the banks of Yamuna. It's all in the banks of Yamuna only. Okay, there will be a delightful way from Chitrakoota from there. When you find that Neelavana, from that forest, Neelavana, there will be a delightful way, very, very picturesque way to Chitrakoota from there, which I use frequently to go there. I also use that way frequently. I frequently visit Chitrakoota, so I also use that way. That path is really, really smooth, and it is free of forest fires. There will not be any kind of forest fires also, because it is near the banks of the river. Okay, when something is near the banks of the river, it will not be that dry and all, right? That's the reason. So saying so, the sage actually pointed towards the way of Chitrakoota. Hey, that is the way, this is how you have to go. Then first confluence, and then follow the Yamuna river to the west, okay? And then you will see that path like that. And Śri Rāma, of course, he always follows the path that is shown by the sages. Now, he won't go the way, or go the way he wants to, or take up another path or something like that. This tells us that Bhagavan can be attained by the path that is shown by the sages only. Okay, if somebody comes with, hey, this is the new way and all, we should not believe in that. Okay, Ramayana shows us the way. Now, the sages, they said that dharmic path only. Whatever is according to dharma, that is what sages said. And with their tapas, they see where Bhagavan is, and they can tell also. This also means that wherever dharma is, there is Bhagavan. We have to know that. Now, after the sage pointed the way, now Śri Rāma, now he greeted the sage politely. He did namaskar, said, I shall follow your instructions, and you came a long way from ashrama now. Okay, please go back. Like that, he told sage Bharadwāja. Now, sage Bharadwāja, he returned back to his hermitage. Then Śri Rāma said to Lakshmana, let there be safety to you. Bhadram te, remember, let there be safety to you. We have done some meritorious deeds in the past. You know how listening or talking to great people, great gurus, great sages and all, it comes because of the great punya that we did in our past. Only that is the reason. Now, this is told by Śrī Rāma himself. Let us listen to Śrī Rāma's words. He said, we have done some meritorious deeds in the past, as he is showing so much compassion on us. Look at sage Bharadwāja. He is showing so much compassion on us. Okay, this shows how modest Śrī Rāma is. Śrī Rāma knows that he is Paramatma. He is going, yesterday how we talked about, he is going to each and every sage, counting each one of them, who is actually thinking of him, like that. But now, look at the way he is talking. And he is expressing that in his speech and actions as well. And talking in that manner, now Sītā is going in the front. Now this time what is happening, Sītā is very, very enthusiastic, and she is going in the front. And the two great souled tigers among men, they were following her, and they headed towards towards the river Yamuna, because it's all safe path, so nothing to worry about. So they traveled a long way, very long way. They were walking. They walked a long way, and along the banks of swift flowing Yamuna, but they could not find the place where they had to cross. They are like, where should we cross? So he said it will be frequented, it will be like something like that. So they pondered for a while. They thought, okay, and now they thought, we need to cross the waters. No matter what, we have to cross the waters quickly. So immediately the two brothers, Rama and Lakshmana, Śrī Rāma and Lakshmana, they prepared a fairly big raft. They made a very big raft consisting of a number of dry wooden logs. I want you to imagine this. Okay? Okay, they picked up whatever is the dry wooden log, only because those things can float, right? That is the reason why. So they picked up all the dry wooden logs side by side. Okay, they kept them all side by side, and then they brought the bamboo, which will also float on the water. They got that bamboo also, and they got some creepers, very, very strong creepers. And then they tied all the things together. They made a very, very big raft. Not too big, not too small. It's very fairly big, like that. Okay, and they covered it, and after that, they overspread it with, and then they kept the dry bamboo on it, so it won't sink and all. And then they covered it with all fragrant roots of Ushira. Plant name is Ushira. It is known as a vetiver. Vattivellu. We say Vattivellu in Telugu. It's like it gives nice smell, right? With those fragrant, that thing, they covered it with that. And then, what did Lakshmana do? Lakshmana, he cut the shoots of canes and the twigs of rose apple tree. Rose apple meaning gulab jama. Have you ever seen that fruit, gulab jama fruit? Okay, that fruit's tree, Jambu Neredu, and that one. And it is also known as Paneer Phalam, I think. It's Prabharjatu. It's like rattan tree, like we see cane furniture, right? That kind of tree also. Okay, those plants, twigs and all, they cut. Okay, Lakshmana cut that.
Okay, creepers.
Creepers meaning the climbers that go on the trees. Okay, now he cut those things. He cut the twigs of the rose apple tree, that thing, and rattan tree, and then he made a comfortable seat for Sītā. Nice seat, so Sītā can sit comfortably like that. And then afterward, Śrī Rāma, son of Dasharatha, he helped Sītā, who resembled Lakshmi Devi with unimaginable beauty, ascend the raft like that. Okay, he held Sītā and he got her onto the raft. And Sītā entered the raft feeling a little shy like that. It's a little very, very, very shyly, nice kind of shy. Okay, nice kind of shy with that kind of, it's known as lajja in Sanskritam. Like that, with a nice thing, she entered and she sat there. And on her side, they kept the garments, they kept all the ornaments, everything, those things, their weapons, everything. Also with the crowbar, the gunupam and the pitaka, basket. Okay, that also they kept. Okay, they kept all of that. And thus, by helping Sītā get into the raft, by holding the structure firmly, okay, Lakshmana held it firmly so it won't go away. Okay, and then Rama got the Sītā, and then two sons of Dasharatha, full of delight, cautiously began to row the raft. You know how they rowed the raft? I want you to imagine this. This is so much fun. I felt so good when I was listening to this. They did not get into the raft. Okay, they did not get into the raft. They held it firmly with their hands, and with their hands they just kept pushing it across the river and crossed it. They swam across it. It's so beautiful to imagine. And some people, they can just cross the river by swimming, right? They can do that. And Rama and Lakshmana did the same thing. They kept all those things there. They made Sītā sit there, and they just held the thing and they just dragged it. That's what they did. And it is not at all difficult for Śrī Rāma and Lakshmana to do this. It's such a beautiful thing. And now, once they reached the middle of the river Kalindi, as they were crossing, again Sītā saluted the presiding deity of the river and prayed to her. This is very, very special one. Okay, praying to Yamuna. Today we are praying to Yamuna. Sit down and do namaskara. Okay, O Kalindi Mata, she said, O Kalindi Mata, O glorious one, I am doing namaskara to you. Okay, let there be auspiciousness. We are crossing your waters, Amma. May I safely cross your waters along with my husband and my brother-in-law, and let my husband successfully conclude his vow of spending the 14 years in the forest, of exile in the forest. When Śrī Rāma returns to the Ikshvakupuri, meaning Ayodhya, then I shall perform all kinds of worship, services and jataras to you. This is the same kind of puja she did for Ganga. But there is one special significance to Yamuna, and Ganga of course is significant. But similarly, Yamuna also has a lot of importance. What is it? Because during Sandhya times, there is a tradition of saying Ganga Yamunayor Munibhyascha Namaha. Like that they say that, it seems. I do not know. I am also learning. Ganga Yamunayor Munibhyascha Namaha. Now a great poet, of course, Vishwanatha Satyanarayana Garu, he said, I want you to imagine this. Oh Amma, generally it is said that Ganga waters are pure in color. They are like white, like that, let us say. Yamuna is always dark. Yamuna's waters are black in color. Okay, it's dark. Okay. That is why Kalindi, it is known as Kalindi because Kala, black color. Okay, and not only that, he said, Amma, Raghurama, you are also dark in complexion. Raghurama is also dark grey in complexion, like that. And as both of you are fruits of the same tree, that is what he said, as both of them are fruits of the same tree. Śrī Rāma is born in Surya Vamsha. Anybody knows Yamuna is daughter of who?
I know that it's the
sister of Yama, you remember that?
Yes.
Yeah, so the Yama and Yamuna both are son and daughter of Surya. Okay, both are son and daughter of Surya. So Yamuna is also daughter of Surya. Śrī Rāma is also born in the Surya Vamsha. So, and I am the daughter-in-law of your home, Amma. No, Sītā said, I am the daughter-in-law of your home. Amma, as Śrī Rāma is younger than you and he shows so please show some love towards him. Make this vow successful. Hence, like that. You know how you can, in a right way to imagine. This is the. Now let us come back to the Valmeeki Ramayana. And he said, Sītamma said, I shall worship you and offer the beverages that are liked by devatas. Remember Suraghata Sahasrena, same thing. Yeah, like that. As I will do similarly to Ganga, like that I will do for you also, Amma. I shall give a donation of 100,000 cows to please you. Okay, there they said I shall give you. Does not mean, do not take the literal meaning. It will sound like I shall give you 100,000. That does not mean she is going to put that many cows in the river. It's not like that. Okay, it means that she will donate that many cows by bringing them, she will bring them to the banks of the river and then give them in donation to please the presiding deity of the river. It's like that. Now, I shall offer Naivedya to you and then offer that in donation to all those who follow Dharma and listen to the Puranas. This kind of people, I will give them that donation. And while Sītā, with the most excellent complexion, was praying river Kalindi in this manner with joined palms, they reached the southern bank. Okay, they crossed. Rama and Lakshmana safely brought her there. Okay, brought Sītamma. Now then they crossed the rippling and swift flowing Yamuna river, the daughter of Surya Deva, and which is fringed. Fringed means on its banks there are numerous trees. So, along on its banks, like where they crossed at that place. Remember how when they were coming on Ganga, also somewhere there were mountains, somewhere these things, all these things. I want you to imagine like that. Now they left the raft. Where did they leave the raft? There were so many trees there, right, on the banks and all. They took the raft and they left the raft there in the midst of those trees, and then they departed from the forest on the bank of Yamuna, and reached that cool banyan tree. Okay, Śyāma Vata vruksha. They came there. And they looked at the banyan tree. And the banyan tree was covered with green leaves. And it was known by the name Śyāma, right? And you know, as soon as they entered into the tree, it is so cool. It's like in fridge. It's like so cool. The shade of the banyan tree, it felt so cold. And there was not even a bit of sun that could actually pass through the leaves. It is so thick. And it is said that the poet imagined that banyan tree was looking like a yogi. Okay, yogi meaning how Manas actually comes from Atma, right? There is self in you. There is Atma, let us say. Okay, from that Manas comes. Manas means the thing with which you feel, with which you think, all these things. Let us say that let us call that as Manas. And what happens? This Manas is always towards the external world. What is happening around me? What do they need? What do I have to do? How can I get this pleasure and all? But when the Manas stops looking at the external world, when it stops looking at what is happening around me, then what happens? Then it directs itself to its own self. Okay, it actually turns itself to you, like who am I? You start asking that question. Okay, who am I? And then when you ask that question, that is known as antarmukhatvam. Say that. Antarmukhatvam. What is that? Antarmukhatvam, meaning the who am I, if you ask that question. That means the manas that came from Atma will go back to Atma again. Okay? And a lot of Lalita Sahasranamam things are coming today. Śyāma, and now Antarmukhatvam. Now, similarly, the Vata vruksha also, which came from the earth. Okay, like why is this Vata vruksha a yogi? Because you look at banyan tree, it grows up, and then aerial roots develop. It develops aerial roots, right? And with those aerial roots, what does it do? It goes back to the earth like a yogi. It came from the earth, and it develops aerial roots and goes back to the earth. So it is just like a yogi. And Vaidehi now went very close to that banyan tree and bowed low to it, okay, and did namaskara. Okay, and Sītā, she said, namaskara to you, a great gigantic tree. And now, whoever can repeat, please repeat after me. Come here. Okay, do namaskara. Namastestu Mahavruksha Parayet Me Patirvratam Kausalyan Chaiva Pashyeyam Sumitrancha Yashasvinim Iti Sītā Anjalim Krutva Paryagachat Vanaspatim. Thank you. This is a very, very, very powerful shloka. Okay, there are a lot of internal meanings to it. That is why we repeated this shloka. Okay, here, like generally what she is asking is Namastestu Mahavruksha. Namaskara to you, Mahavruksha. Parayet me patir vratam. So let my husband's vow, vratam, be successfully completed. Okay, and Kausalyan Chaiva Pasyayam, and let us see the mother Kausalya after coming back again, as well as Sumitram Cha Yasasvinim, the illustrious Sumitra I want to see. This is the general meaning of it. And afterward, with like this, with the joint palm, Sītā went around the Krutva Paryagachat Vanaspatim. Vanaspati meaning another name for tree is Vanaspati. Vruksha, Vanaspati, these are all other names for trees. Okay, so she went around it in clockwise direction by saying that. Now let us know the internal meaning of it. Okay, one thing, internal meaning is, before that we should know why is it that we worship our trees? Why do worship water, rivers, rocks, puttas, cows, so many things, we around everything, because there is Bhagavan in everything. That is this kind of answer. Okay, so we should know that there is this is our eternal and ancient tradition. Do not think that, hey, these people are doing just like that, they popped up. This is not something that started nowadays. This has been there forever. It has been there forever. So, it is our ancient tradition to do namaskara to trees, water, rocks, puttas, cows and all. Everything, cows, everything. There is, and like Ashwatha, Vata, Bilva, Audumbara, Dattatreya, okay, like that, etc. These are known as Devata Vrukshas. Okay, we in Vishwamitra Srishti we came across Vishwamitra trees also, but these are Devata Vrukshas, what I say. So this is all Sadachara. Today Lalitamma is coming. Sadachara. Okay, lot of this is all right, good achara, the tradition that we follow. Okay, and the internal meaning of the verse, let us say. Mahavruksha means great tree. And the great tree is nothing but the samsara. our life. Great tree. Maha meaning great tree. And that is nothing but this life. The life that we have. Samsara meaning not marriage. I told you several times. Okay, samsara means one takes birth. That's it. That itself is samsara. Okay, by worshipping Vishnu. Vishnu is Patir Vratam. Patir Vratam meaning who is the captain or lead of the samsara, the Vishnu, right? So by worshipping Vishnu, we will cross the tree of samsara. Okay, by meaning we will not fall into this samsara again. And what is Kausalya? So you said Kausalya, Sumitra. What is the internal meaning they have? Kausalya meaning having good mind all the time is called Kausalya. Okay, having good mind all the time. You have to think how you want to follow dharma, you want to follow good, you want to do good, like that. Those who has darshana of this Vata vruksha and worship Vishnu, let them get good mind and Sumitra meaning good friends. Let them get good friends and let them have good relationship with everyone. And let them attain great fame that comes from following dharma. Okay, Yashasvinim, that comes from following dharma. So that is the internal meaning of this shloka. And chanting this shloka, it gives great results such as we will be free from enmity. Okay, we will not have enemies. And we'll get sadbuddhi, good mind. We'll get that is the result of chanting this shloka. So we will leave then what will happen? Eventually, we will leave this Vata vruksha, meaning this samsara, and attain kaivalya. We'll get moksha. That is the greatest internal meaning of this shloka. And now previously, it is said that people used to chant this before going to tirthayatras, visiting foreign countries. Whenever they used to do this shloka, they used to chant. But for some reason, many people forgot, it seems. Now, let us bring back the tradition again. Okay? Those who chant this will not have any difficulties and sorrows on their way, and they will happily come back. Okay? They will happily come back. So, that is why this shloka is very, very, very sacred and important. And now, Śrī Rāma, now Sītā is doing all of that, right? One more time, let me just chant the shloka. Just listen. Namastestu mahavruksha parayat. Please. Namastestu mahavruksha parayet me patirvratam kausalyanchaiva pashyeyam sumitram chayasasvinim iti Sītā anjalim krutva paryagachat vanaspatim. Okay. Now Śrī Rāma saw the faultless Sītā who is doing that, who his beloved and obedient consort of excellent conduct, offering prayers to the presiding deity of the vruksha, Vishnu. And Sītā was going ahead, and then Śrī Rāma said to Lakshmana, "O younger brother of Bharata." Now he said Bharata, oh younger Bharatānuja. That's what he said. Okay, Bharatānuja meaning oh younger brother of Bharata. Okay, you also go in the head along with Sītā. Sītā is going. She is very excited. She is going in the front. So you also go along with her. I shall follow you both from behind, equipped with weapons, with all these weapons. And you know what you should do? Come here. Now he is telling Lakshmana, whatever fruits and flowers the daughter of Janaka likes and asks for, get them all for Vaidehi. Okay, you get them all. Whatever Vaidehi looks at and says, "Oh, this flower looks so beautiful. I have never seen this before. Oh, look at those fruits look so good, such a good color," or something like that. She says, "Oh, these branches are so pretty." Like that. When she says like that, get those all of them. Get that flower, get those fruits, get this. No, not animals. And get those branches which are pretty. He is only saying flowers, fruits and branches. He did not talk about animals. Okay. And here we have to observe the excellent relationship between Sītā and Śrī Rāma. Okay, we'll see more of this in Aranya Kanda. Okay, not only that, it is dharma for a husband to follow the wife when they go to forest. This is another thing. This is I was like mind blown when I came to know this. It's is it like this way, like that? Another dharma that we are learning. So many dharmas we are learning today. It is dharma for a husband to follow the wife when they go to the forest or when they go to tirthayatra. Okay, forest or tirthayatra or even into the temple. Wife has to go first and husband has to follow. Husband has to hold her kongo, and not even, you don't have to hold the kongo, but husband has to follow her. Okay, not husband should not go in the beginning and go say, "You come, I am going," like that, not like that. Okay, you have to, wife has to go first and then husband has to follow whenever they are going to forest, pilgrimage, tirthayatra, and then temple, of course, gudi. And then husband should not, now, so Śrī Rāma also did the same thing here. Okay. Thus Lakshmana behind him Sītā, behind them Śrī Rāma, and then the travel was going on like that. Now Sītā saw every single tree, shrub, creeper, that she has Ashokavana in her own palace. Okay, in her own palace there is Ashokavana, which we will come across in Uttarakanda, they will mention that to us. Okay, but still, here there are so many trees there also. But here she is looking at the trees that she did not see before. Before she did not see these kind of things. The different kinds of flowers. Whatever she does not know, she never saw before, those things she is asking. And she is asking, like, if Lakshmana is there, she will ask Lakshmana. If Śrī Rāma is close by, she will ask Śrī Rāma. Śrī Rāma, what is this? Like that. And Lakshmana immediately brought all of those. Whenever she asked, Lakshmana has to follow his brother's orders, right? So he will go and he brought all of those and he gave it to her. And he brought various twigs with lovely flowers from various trees. And the daughter of King Janaka, she rejoiced to look at them. She was like, hey, look at this, it's so beautiful. She was going like that. And the daughter of King Janaka, she was so happy to see the river also. Okay, on one side there is river. They are actually walking on the shore of the river. You can think like that. On the banks of the river, they kept on walking. This side there are trees and this side there is river. Okay, it's all very safe. Okay, and he brought, she was like looking at the charming sands and waters, and there were a lot of cranes and swans also making a lot of noise there. And they walked a couple of miles like that, and they killed that wild animals that came on their way. Okay, some wild animals also came, so they killed them also. And thus, because they need to protect themselves. That is why they are carrying the weapons. Why do they need weapons? They cannot run someplace, right? That's why. And thus, the wild animals which are harmful need to be killed. Okay, thus they traveled in the forest on the banks of Yamuna. In the charming forest, it was noisy because of even in the forest there were so many peacocks, flocks of peacocks making so much noise, and that noise is coming from the forest. And there were groups of vanaras were there, elephants were there, and they reached a level ground. Now they came to a level ground like that. It's not any ups and downs and all. A level ground on the bank of river. There the travelers, without a depressed face, like means they have delightful faces on them, and they went near a tree which is fit for the shelter. Okay. Now Śrī Rāma, Sītā and Lakshmana spent the night there under the tree. That is the fifth night. Okay. That is the fifth night. That's what they said. So the night passed, and they did whatever is needed for the evening worship, and they spent their night there. There are a lot of fruits and roots also there. Everything is good. Now the night passed, right? Now Śrī Rāma, the bull among the raghus, he woke up. Not completely the night, it did not become sunrise and all yet, but at the right time Śrī Rāma woke up, and he gently woke up Lakshmana, who was asleep. Now listen to this. Those who think Lakshmana did not sleep the entire Aranyavasa, well, it shows here that Rama is waking up Lakshmana here. All of them were sleeping. Oh Lakshmana, Rama is waking up. Oh Lakshmana, can you hear the notes of sweetly warbling wild birds such as parrots, kokila, maina, etc.? Look how they are making all the sounds. Let us promptly resume our journey, as the time for departure has commenced. We have to start. We have to go to Chitrakoota. Okay, oh tormentor of enemies, wake up. Okay, we have to find the place where we need to stay on the Chitrakoota mountain. So please wake up. Like that. Thus, awakened by his brother, now Lakshmana, who was fast asleep, he immediately shook off his slumber. Like that he got up. Drowsiness, on the fatigue, everything that came from the journey, he just shook it off. And then they got up and took a bath in the cool waters of Yamuna and did their morning worship of Sandhya, and they proceeded on the path to Chitrakoota, which is trodden by the sages. Okay? In that manner, they departed from that place along with Lakshmana and Śrī Rāma. Now, when they were walking, I want you to imagine, this is so beautiful. They are walking. So, at some place, there are flowers of Kimshuka tree. Kimshuka meaning Beautia frondosa. Okay, that is the scientific name for it. It is known as the flame of the forest, and it has a bright orange-red flowers. It is also known as Palasha. Palasha, if you remember in the Ashwamedha Yaga, we talked about Upastambha of Palasha wood. We talked about that tree. It's also known as parrot tree. The flowers would be like very bright orangish red, like that. Okay, and Śrī Rāma showed to the lotus-eyed Sītā. Lotus-eyed, when they say, because Sītā's eyes, which are like lotus petals, okay, they are going to look at those flowers, those eyes. and now with blossoms on all the sides, and it appeared as though the tree is covered with flowers. It looked like the flowers decorated the tree like garlands. There were so many flowers because of the spring season also, and it is synchronizing with winter like that. And look at the, and now he showed that first. Look at that Sītā, like that, and like that he showed. Look how it is appearing like garlands of flowers of rose, like that he said. And now they walked for some more distance. And then he said, look at the marking nut, meaning Bhallataka. That is the name of the tree, Bhallataka. All these things, they have medicinal values, okay? But this Bhallataka should not be, this is also known as vanishing tree or Malacca bean or Dhobi nut, oriental cashew. Okay, but no one is supposed to use the raw juice of it, the nuts directly. But once they are properly purified and processed at that time, they have a lot of medicinal value for the arthritis people and all. Okay, they have a lot of that Bhallataka. And then bilva tree. Okay, he showed, and they were walking. More. Look at the bilva trees. Wow, look at that. And look, so many. They are not even there. They cannot be used by people as they are out of their reach. That means they are so. At least one thing is they are away from the population. Another thing is they are so high. That's the reason why. And now, they are all bent low because of the weight of fruits and blossoms. We already talked about how citizens said, right? Wherever Rama goes, that thing will be full of blossoms and fruits like that. So that is what happened. And we shall surely be able to live. Now he's looking at all these things and he's saying, we can live here very happily without any kind of problem because there is so much food here like that. Fruits from the forest. And now, Lakshmana, now they are walking some more distance, they are going. Lakshmana, look at that. And Sītā and Lakshmana, both of them. Look at the hanging honeycombs from every tree. Every tree has one honeycomb like that. And if each one weighs approximately 1 drona, Rama is looking at that and telling this. Okay, he's just saying each one is weighing 1 drona, meaning drona is approximately equal to 12.228 kg or 14 to 20 kg, something like that. Even 12 kg, 14 kg doesn't matter, it's so much, that much honeycombs are there. And it is stocked with honey bees. Look at that, Lakshmana, like that he said. And then they were walking again. They're walking and talking. And here, look at that Chataka bird. It is crying. They look at its sound. It's so beautiful, right? And the peacock is also responding to it because Rama knows every kind of knowledge, right? So they know that the birds are speaking. Maybe that is why he said that. Look at that charming part of the thing. Look at they could see the forest. Maybe they are on thing. They could see the valley of flowers like that. It's scattered mass of flowers. It's like so many flowers are scattered in the thick forest like that. It's looking like that. And behold the Chitrakoota mountain. Look at that. Hey, now we can see the Chitrakoota mountain. It has elevated peaks. The peaks are so high. Look at that. Oh, there are so many elephants there. And it is so noisy because of the flocks of the birds. And let us spend our time happily here. Dear brother, in this lovely and sacred forest of Chitrakoota, which was, look at this, hey, there are so many leveled grounds also. It's not like all up hilly kind of thing. Like now also, if you go to the Chitrakoota mountain top, they say that there are 100,000 people can actually sit there. That much place is there. It has leveled grounds like that on top of the mountain. Okay, and okay, I lost myself. So let us happily spend our time here. And there are so many trees also here like that. The two brothers, they were talking, and Sītā, along with Sītā, they were walking and talking and all. And they reached the delightful and soul-captivating Chitrakoota mountain. They reached. And when they reached that lovely mountain, which has abundant flocks of birds of many kinds, there are so many kinds of birds, and also rich stock of roots and fruits, so much, and abundant sweet water. I'm pretty sure some might have, when you take water in the forest or this kind of areas, what happens is they are very, very sweet water. The water will taste sweet like that. I tasted it once like that. Now, Śrī Rāma, he said to Lakshmana, look at this delightful mountain. It is soul captivating, and it is adorned with many trees and creepers and abound in roots and fruits. So much is there. O Saumya, if it appears that sustenance, we can find our sustenance. It appears that sustenance can be found easily in this place. And now great soul ascetics, they also dwell in this mountain. Another reason is the sages are also there. It is habitable. So, oh dear brother, meaning he meant dear brother, oh, Nana, Kanna, how do you say like that, right? Nana. Okay, let us take up our abode here. We can build an ashrama here and stay happily. And so this is like 6th day morning. They traveled, they came and few hours like that. Okay, saying so, now they saw one hermitage. They saw one ashrama there. And then Śrī Rāma, obviously he loves to go to ashramas. So Śrī Rāma, Sītā and Lakshmana, they entered into the hermitage, and that is the hermitage of Valmeeki. Okay, that's the hermitage of Valmeeki. At that time he did not write Ramayana yet. Valmeeki Maharshi. And they went there and with namaskar, with joint palms in namaskara mudra, and they greeted the sage Valmeeki. And the eminent sage was extremely pleased and welcomed Śrī Rāma, and he appropriately honored them according to dharma, his dharma, their dharma, according to all of that they are. And he offered them a seat and said, be seated. And the powerful Śrī Rāma, he presented himself according to his decorum, however he has to present himself. If you remember how sage Bharadwāja, hear him how he did, like same thing. But in here we are going to borrow something from Ramacharita-manas. Ramacharita-manas is written by Tulsidas, who wrote Hanuman Chalisa. He wrote Ramayana, okay, which is also known as Ramacharita-manas. It is also full of what do you say, Rama as Paramatma is there, and there will be some differences from here to that one. If you remember, we also talk some differences maybe for some reason. Anyway, so it is said that in that Ramacharita-manas, it is said that Śrī Rāma, he asked sage Valmeeki where to get an ashrama built. Like that, they specified. All the details will not be there in Valmeeki Ramayana, right? So like that. So he asked. Now, then sage Valmeeki replied, are you asking me about which place to stay, Śrī Rāma? You are everywhere. Where would you stay, and where you stay are the places where you should stay, and where you stay are the places where Satpurushas are there. So, Rama always stays where Satpurushas are there, where Dharma is there, and with those who have great Hrudaya, And still, you asked me, because you asked me, that is why I am telling. This is a divine mountain. This Chitrakoota is a divine mountain. You can get ashrama constructed in this place. Like that, he showed some place. And all this is based on Puranas only. This Ramacharita-manas is also, they got this story from different Puranas and they got it there. So then they took leave of him and went to the place where the sage suggested. Okay? And they did namaskara to all the sages there. There are so many sages there, right, in that place. And they started building the ashrama. Actually, in Ramacharita-manasa, it is said that Vishwakarma and other devatas, they took the form of tribals and they came there, and they are tribals. They came like tribals, people who live in the forest, and they constructed the ashrama. It is said like that also, okay, in Ramacharita-manas. But that is not there in Valmeeki Ramayana, because they did not tell everything completely, because it will become Shatakoti Pravistaram then, so many 100 crores of shlokas like that. Anyway, the mighty armed eldest brother of Lakshmana, who is Śrī Rāma, he spoke to Lakshmana, please bring excellent and strong logs of wood and erect a kutira, like that. My mind is intent on staying here, so I want to stay here. Now Saumitri, he heard the above command, and he brought boughs of various trees, and he dug the earth a little, okay, and erected those good boughs like that. And then sorry about that. Vithal, sit down. Okay, he made the place flat. So first of all, inside has to be flat, right? So he made the place flat, and then he erected those boughs, and then he, using the creepers there, he tied all the boughs and all, and he covered it with big leaves like the roof and all, and he made a perfect ashrama using small tools such as the crowbar, sword and all. And we can even imagine the devatas coming in the form of that, and they are constructing the ashrama also. Both are correct only. And also that place that he can lie down. He made sure he did not make a small kutira so that one person can stay, not like that. It's very spacious one, okay, where Sītā and Rama can stay, and where there is place for Devata Gruha inside the home, and where there is place for them to sleep, and where there is place for him also to sleep, like that. He made sure he had that much place inside the hut, like that. Inside the kutira. We will not call the hut, we will call kutira or parnasāla. Okay, so the subduer of foes, okay, he erected a parnasāla with them, for them. Now, seeing that beautiful, charming and thatched and made with walls of tree boughs, Sri Rama, he spoke to Lakshmana, who stood there listening attentively. Once he is done, he came to Sri Rama, it's done. And now he said, bring the pulp of a bulb called Gajakanda. Okay, so that Gajakanda. Okay, in Valmeeki Ramayana, it is said that Eneyam Mamsam Ahrutya. Okay, Mamsa does not mean literally meat here. We should not take as meat here, but it is said that we should take that as a bulb called Gajakanda. Okay, this Gajakanda, this bulb is really pretty big. It is reddish in color inside. Okay, and he even said, why we should not take it as meat means, he even said that he does not kill animals for sport and for food. If you remember, he said that to Sītā while they were coming in the chariot. Okay, we have to remember that Ramo Dvirnabhibhashate. He will speak only he will not speak in another way. Okay, we have to know that. And generally, people who are violent, okay, they do bring, the people who are violent, not Rama, people who are violent, they would bring black deer's meat and do the rituals at that time, during that time. But Sri Rama and Lakshmana did not do that. Sītā, they did not cause any harm to any kind of creature. Hence, but killing wild animals for protection is a different thing. Hence, they brought Gajakanda and they did the rituals using that. And now Rama is saying, bring the pulp of bulb and of that Gajakanda, and we shall offer the deity while we enter into the parnasāla. Now he said, O Saumitri, we have to perform Vastu Shanti. Vastu Shanti, if we want to live for a long time. Okay, he said, Chirajivina, if we want to live for a long time, we have to perform Vastu Shanti. Okay, we are going to pause it for today here. Okay, Vastu Shanti, and I want you to happily enjoy, because there is going to be a big general topic. We are going to talk about why is Vastu Shanti important. All these things we are going to talk about tomorrow. Okay, Śrī Rāma Jaya Rāma Jaya Jaya Rāma, Śrī Rāma Jaya Rāma Jaya Jaya Rāma, Śrī Rāma Jaya Rāma Jaya Jaya Rāma, Śrī Hanuman Jaya Hanuman Jaya Jaya Hanuman, 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 Śrī Rāma Sharanam Mama, Śrī Rāma Sharanam Mama, Śrī Rāma Sharanam Mama.